Welcome to the Biology Brief channel. Today we are going to discuss 15 MCQ which were asked in recent NEET examinations. You all know that the chapter Respiration in Plants is an important one. Hope you are all familiar with the concepts of the chapter. Let us go to the first question directly, which is asked during 2024 NEET examination. Which of the following are correct about cellular respiration? A. Cellular respiration is the breaking of carbon-carbon bonds of complex organic molecules. B. The entire cellular respiration takes place in mitochondria. C. The fermentation takes place under aerobic condition in germinating seeds. The fate of pyruvate formed during glycolysis depends on the type of organism also. E. Water is formed during respiration as a result of oxygen accepting electrons and getting reduced. You have to select correct answer from the following. Let us examine each statement one by one. A. Cellular respiration is the breaking of carbon-carbon bonds of complex organic molecules. You all know that complex organic molecules are the respiratory substrates. During cellular respiration, the carbon-carbon bond of such respiratory substrates are broken down and energy is released. So, first statement is a correct one. Second one, B. The entire cellular respiration takes place in mitochondria, which is a wrong one. In prokaryotic organisms, the entire cellular respiration takes place in cytoplasm. But in the case of eukaryotic organisms, glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm and the other processes, namely Krebs cycle and electron transport system, are takes place in the mitochondria. So the statement B is a wrong one. C. Fermentation takes place under aerobic condition in germinating seeds. In the textbook it is noted that in germinating seeds fermentation takes place, but it is not under aerobic condition. Fermentation always takes place in anaerobic condition. So statement C is also a wrong one. What about statement D? The fate of pyruvate formed during glycolysis depends on the type of organism also. Mainly the fate of pyruvate depends on cellular need of the cell. It is also depends on the type of organism. So the statement D is a correct one. What about statement E? Water is formed during respiration. This is correct. As a result of oxygen accepting electrons and getting reduced. This is the process of terminal oxidation. Terminal oxidation. The chemical reaction takes place during terminal oxidation. Here, oxygen accepts electrons reduced and water is formed. E is also correct one. Two statements are wrong. Here, the correct answer B and C wrong. So A, D, E. First option is correct one regarding this question. Let us move to the second question. It is a matching type question and is also asked during 2024 NEET examination. List 1, list 2, a citric acid cycle. Citric acid cycle, you all know that it is also called a Krebs cycle, takes place in the mitochondria, mitochondrial matrix. B, glycolysis. Glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. Then electron transport system. Electron transport system takes place with the help of electron acceptors, electron carriers, which are present in the inner mitochondrial membrane. The remaining one, proton gradient, intermembrane space of mitochondria. Here in mitochondria, inner membrane is there, outer membrane is there. Here ETS takes place in the inner membrane and due to oxidation reactions, protons are pumped to the intermembrane space of mitochondria where proton gradient is formed. So proton gradient should be matched with the intermembrane space. So our answer is A2, B1, C4, D3. Third option will be our answer to this question. Let us move to next question. Identify the step in tricarboxylic acid cycle which does not involve oxidation. Does not involve oxidation of substrate, asked in 2024 NEET examination. Let us see the first one, malic acid. Malic acid is converted into oxaloacetic acid, during which NADH plus H plus is formed. The reducing power is formed. Here succinic acid is converted to malic acid. Here also NADH is formed. When succinyl-CoA is converted to succinic acid, here GTP will be formed. Guanosine triphos will be formed. Isocitrate is converted into alpha-ketoglutarate. Here also you will get NADH plus H plus. Here 1, 2 and 4 are oxidation reactions where reducing powers are formed. In option 3, when succinyl-CoA is converted to succinic acid, GTP is formed from GDP due to phosphorylation, which is an example for substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation is takes place during the conversion of succinyl-CoA into succinic acid, which is not a oxidation reaction. So our answer to this question is option 3. Option 3. Move to the next question. This is also a matching type question. Here ETS complex should be matched with the corresponding complex, enzyme complex. Here you have to remember ETS complex 1. You by heart the complexes. Complex 1 is NADH dehydrogenase. What was complex 2? It is succinate dehydrogenase. Then 3 is cytochrome BC1 oxidase. Cytochrome 4, ETS complex 4 is cytochrome C oxidase. ETS complex 5 is FOF1 complex. You have to by heart these complexes 1 to 5, then only you can answer such questions very easily. Here you can easily, if you by heart this, you can easily answer this question. Complex 1, A is 1. In here all A is 1. Complex 2, what is complex 2? Complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase, B with 4. So you can eliminate 1 and 2. B with 4. C, cytochrome ETS complex 3. 3 is BC1. C2. Fourth option. D3. So fourth option is the correct answer for this question. Very easy question if you by heart the complexes. Next, what our next question? It is also a matching type question asked during 2023 NEET examination. Option A, oxidative decarboxylation. You know that oxidative decarboxylation takes place for pyruvate. Pyruvic acid undergoes oxidative decarboxylation to form acetyl-CoA, which is also called link reaction. During link reaction, oxidative decarboxylation takes place. Pyruvate is converted into acetyl-CoA with the help of the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. So A should be matched with 2. Glycolysis. The other name for glycolysis, EMP pathway, named after the discoverers Emden, Meyerhof and Parnas. So B4. C, oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation takes place during electron transport system. C is 3. Tricarboxylic acid cycle, TCA cycle or Krebs cycle. The enzyme involved in Krebs cycle is citrate synthase. So A2, B4, C3 and D1. Fourth option should be our answer. You have to select fourth option as answer to this question. Moving to next question. It is an assertion reason type question asked during 2023 NEET examination. Assertion: ATP is used at 2 steps in glycolysis. The assertion is correct one if you analyze the pathway, analyze the reactions of glycolysis. Here, 2 ATP are consumed. 4 ATPs are formed, 2 are consumed. First ATP is used in converting glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, correct. Second ATP is used in conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-diphosphate, which is also correct. In these two steps, step 1 and step 3, ATP is consumed. So reason is also correct, and the reason correctly explains assertion. So our answer to this question is option 1. Both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. You have to select number 1 option for this question. For next question, what is the net gain of ATP when each molecule of glucose is converted to molecule of pyruvic acid? When each molecule of glucose is converted to molecule of pyruvate. This is glycolytic step, glycolytic reaction. Here we know that when one glucose is converted into 2 pyruvates, 4 ATP are formed. As we saw in the previous question, 2 ATP are consumed in step 1 and step 3, and we will get 2 ATP as net gain of glycolysis. Therefore, our answer to this question is option 4. 2 ATP are the net gain. So, our answer is 4th option. Moving to 8th question. What amount of energy is released from glucose during lactic acid fermentation? Directly given the textbook as it is less than 13%, and this is our answer. Lactic acid fermentation takes place in the muscle cells during emergency situation. During emergency, we have in use of more energy. Here, the glucose undergoes partial oxidation to release energy by fermentation. So, our answer to this question is less than 13%, option 1. What about next question? Asked during 2021 NEET examination, which of the following statements is incorrect? You have to select incorrect statement from this. Let us analyze each statement. 1. During aerobic respiration, role of oxygen is limited to the terminal stage. This is very correct. The statement is very correct. Here, the role of oxygen is only at terminal stage for terminal oxidation to form water. So, statement 1 is correct. In electron transport chain, one molecule of NADH and NAD and H plus gives rise to 2 ATP molecules, and one FADH gives rise to 3 ATP molecules. Here the statement is written in misplaced form. When one molecule of NADH plus H plus is oxidized, you will get 3 ATP molecules. And the FAD gives rise to only 2 ATP molecules. The 2 and 3 are misplaced in this statement, so the statement as such is a wrong one. Third one, ATP synthesis through ETS complex 5. We already see that ETS complex 5 is none other than FOF1 complex. F1 complex is ATP synthase enzyme. By the action of complex 5, you will get ATP by oxidative phosphorylation. It is also a correct one. Fourth one, oxidation reduction reaction produce proton gradient in respiration. Very correct. Due to oxidation reduction reactions, transfer of protons from matrix to inner membrane space, and proton gradient is formed. Due to this, we will get ATP molecules by oxidative phosphorylation. So, fourth statement is also correct one. So, our answer to this question, the incorrect statement is statement 2. You have to select statement 2 for this question if you want correct mark. Then 10th question, the number of substrate level phosphorylation in 1 ton of citric acid cycle is. You know that when succinyl CoA Succinyl-CoA is converted into succinate. GTP is formed from GDP. This is an example for substrate level phosphorylation. In 1 ton of citric acid, this reaction takes place only once. Therefore, the number of substrate level phosphorylation in 1 ton of citric acid cycle is 1. Here the answer is given as option 2, and option 2 will be our answer. Let us move to next question. Find the correct statement from the following and choose the correct option. A, option statement A, in glycolysis there is oxidation without the involvement of oxygen atom, which is correct one. Correct. Here in glycolysis there is no involvement of oxygen. In Krebs cycle also there is no involvement of oxygen. Oxygen is involved in the last stage of electron transport chain for terminal oxidation. The statement A is correct. B, the metabolic fate of pyruvic acid is independent of cellular need. The statement is a wrong one. The metabolic fate of pyruvic acid is dependent on cellular need. It depends on cellular need and depends on the type of organism also. If the cell needs emergency energy, then it undergoes lactic acid fermentation. The cell is behaving as regular one, ordinary cell, then here aerobic respiration proceeds. Then if it is the cell of a prokaryotic organism, there also no cellular respiration, there only fermentation. So the metabolic fate of pyruvic acid is dependent on cellular need, not independent. The statement as such is a wrong one. In the statement C, in the whole process of aerobic respiration, oxygen has no role except in electron transport system. We already discussed. The whole process of aerobic respiration, oxygen has role in the end of electron transport system for terminal oxidation. The statement is correct one. There is complete oxidation of pyruvate by stepwise removal of all the hydrogen atoms during aerobic respiration. Correct statement. Here, during aerobic respiration, the pyruvate undergoes complete oxidation, removing all its hydrogens and producing carbon dioxide. So D statement is also correct one. Here only B is wrong one. So A, C, D, option 2. Option 2 is our answer to this question. Moving to next question, 12th one. Which one of the following option is incorrect about Krebs cycle? You have to select incorrect statement regarding Krebs cycle. It occurs in mitochondria, correct. The first stable product is a 6-carbon compound. You know that. Here, oxaloacetic acid 4-carbon compound is there. When acetyl-CoA, which is a 2-carbon compound, comes, and citric acid or a 6-carbon organic acid is produced. This is the first stable product, citric acid cycle, which is a 6-carbon compound, and the statement 2 is also a correct one. Acetyl-CoA enters into it, resulting in the formation of 2 molecules of carbon dioxide. You know that acetyl-CoA is a 2-carbon compound. When it undergoes complete oxidation by Krebs cycle, the carbon is removed as 2 molecules of carbon dioxide, and that statement is also a correct one. What about fourth statement? The intermediate compound that links glycolysis with Krebs cycle is pyruvic acid. The statement as such is not correct completely. The intermediate compound that links glycolysis with Krebs cycle are not only pyruvic acid but also acetyl-CoA. These 2 compounds, the end product of glycolysis is pyruvic acid, but the compound that enters into the Krebs cycle is acetyl-CoA. Pyruvate undergoes a link reaction to form acetyl-CoA, and the intermediate compounds that link glycols with Krebs cycle are pyruvic acid and acetyl-CoA. The fourth statement as such is a wrong one, and it is our answer because incorrect statement is asked here. For fourth option is the answer for this question. What about our 13th question? In mitochondrial electron transport system, enzymes cytochrome C oxidase and NADH dehydrogenase are respectively. Earlier we have discussed another type of questions regarding ETS complexes where we have to by heart the complexes. Then first NADH dehydrogenase. NADH dehydrogenase, we all know that it is complex 1. So strike out the first option. The answer will be 2, 3 or 4. Then cytochrome C oxidase. We all know that it is the fourth cytochrome complex. So our answer to this question will be ETS complex 4 and 1. Fourth option will be our answer. Moving to the next question. 14th one. Which one among the following statements is incorrect? Now to select incorrect statement from the following. Glycolysis occurs in cytosol. This is correct. Glycolysis occurs outside the nucleus. It occurs in cytosol or cytoplasm. Correct statement. Second one, glycolysis operates as long as it is supplied with NAD plus that can pick up hydrogen atoms. The statement is also correct because NADH plus H plus, which is a reducing power, is a byproduct of glycolysis and it operates as long as it is supplied with the reactant NAD plus. Correct statement. Option 3, enzymes of tricarboxylic acid cycle, enzymes of TCA cycle are present in mitochondrial matrix, which is also correct statement because TCA cycle is an enzymatic reaction cycle. It takes place in mitochondrial matrix. Therefore, enzymes of TCA cycle are present in mitochondrial matrix. What about the fourth option? Oxidative phosphorylation takes place in outer mitochondrial membrane. Oxidative phosphorylation. Due to oxidative phosphorylation, ATP is formed. Oxidative phosphorylation takes place with the help of electron transport system. In electron transport system, there are numerous electron acceptors. Electron acceptors are present not in outer membrane. Electron acceptors are present in the inner mitochondrial membrane. Therefore, oxidative phosphorylation takes place in inner mitochondrial membrane. Option 4 is a wrong one and our answer to this question will be fourth option. Let us move to the last question, 15th question. The respiratory quotient during cellular respiration would depend on, we all know that the respiratory quotient is the ratio between amount of carbon dioxide evolved divided by amount of oxygen absorbed. You have to first of all recall this formula. RQ is the ratio between amount of carbon dioxide evolved up to amount of oxygen absorbed. Let us see the options. Amount of oxygen evolved. Here oxygen is not evolving. Here carbon dioxide evolving. So the option is a wrong one. Amount of carbon dioxide absorbed. Here carbon dioxide is not absorbed. Here oxygen is absorbed. 1 and 2 options are wrong. Nature of enzymes involved. You know that it is not the answer because enzymes are substrate specific compounds and they have no role in deciding respiratory quotient. What about the fourth option? Nature of substrate oxidized. We all know that carbohydrates will be oxidized, glucose is oxidized, fat is oxidized, fatty acids oxidized, protein is oxidized. When depending on the organic molecule which undergoes oxidation, the RQ will be changed. So the RQ will be changed due to the nature of substrate oxidized will be answer to this question. Hope this segment will be very useful to you. Thank you for the hearing.